All good.
Hello and welcome back to Star Trek Las Vegas. I am Heather Ferris and I'm your unofficial host for STLV 2019. And I am here with, go ahead, state your name.
Trevor Roth. I'm the COO of Roddenberry Entertainment and an executive producer on Star Trek.
We are really, really excited to have you on. Thank you so much for doing this interview. So tell people a little bit out there, a little bit about the projects that you've worked on in the past, and how do you feel about them? Are you excited to do more projects with Star Trek?
No question. Obviously Star Trek is a home base for us, and we love and adore it. And are so excited that it is this resurgence that is going on right now, and to be a part of it is really a privilege for us. So we have a lot of other things going on. I will say that Roddenberry is really expanding itself into the world of science fiction, fantasy, and genre entertainment right now, and I encourage people to go to our website roddenberry.com to see that. But since we're at the Star Trek convention right now, I'll focus on Star Trek and say that it is awesome to be here as always, and we love being able to be with the fans and show them that we are fans ourselves.
Oh, that is fantastic. So you were a fan yourself. Tell me, what is your favorite series or character?
So my favorite series has to be TNG, just because that was sort of my series growing up, and I think that happens a lot, that there's a formative series when you're during those formative years, and so that was my Star Trek, and I know Rod's Star Trek, and as far as a favorite character goes, I'm a big Spock lover. I'm a big Data lover. So I love those characters that are sort of outside the bounds. But Worf too is, I think, a fascinating character. Just in regard to the fact that his ideals of the Klingon culture are so different than ours, and how to reconcile that is always an interesting kind of situation for me.
That sounds pretty interesting. So can you please tell viewers who are watching about some of the projects that you've worked with on Star Trek, and were you lucky enough to work with any of the actors that you just mentioned?
We are producing Star Trek Discovery and the PICARD series. We're very excited. It's coming out soon. The new Lower Decks series, the animation, and there's one at Nickelodeon that probably people know about that I am not allowed to talk even the name of. But yeah, all of those we've been a part of, and we've been a part of Star Trek overall in this convention. I think since its incarnation. So always glad to do our part.
That's awesome. Now that is a lot of projects to be working on all at once. I bet you must be going just nonstop.
It's very, very busy. We are helped out or led tremendously by the guys at Secret Hideout, Heather and Aaron, and of course Alex. So it's definitely a group effort, and CBS All Access. But it keeps us busy for sure, and keeping up on everything. And it's definitely our time is tight.
Now, what is your favorite part about the job that you just enjoy the most?
It's funny. I was talking to someone earlier today, and I think the best part of my job is that I happen to run a company whose base lies in the idea of being kind to people. And so as much as I love everything about the job creatively and otherwise, I think one of the best things about my job is that I get to tell my employees and myself and anybody else, hey, part of our job is to be kind to other people and try and help them and be supportive of the franchise and the fans overall. And it's really, it's not always that you get that from a job. So,
do you have any anecdotes of you or creation or anyone involved helping people?
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you my favorite story. This is, I don't know if helping people, but it always is the story I tell when I'm trying to describe Star Trek fans as opposed to sort of other fans. Not that other fans of anything isn't great, but to get the flavor of Star Trek fans, and I don't know if you're out there, the woman I'm about to speak about, but in around 2006, 2008, there was a woman who came up to our booth, this booth here, and she asked to speak to who was in charge, and she handed me $20. And I said, "Oh, why are you handing me this?" And I noticed she was wearing some Star Trek earrings, and I thought she must be buying these Star Trek earrings. I said, "Oh, are you buying those Star Trek earrings? Is this for that?" And she said, "No. I was actually here last year, and I bought these earrings last year, and I paid on my credit card. But when I got home, I noticed that it was not on my credit card bill, that it was charged. And I wanted to come back and give you this money because I owe it to you because I love these earrings, and I owe you this $20. And for me, it's always a touching story that somehow exemplifies a Star Trek community and a Star Trek belief in who we want to be and trying to be that today.
Completely, and I agree with you. And I think that's one of the best things about this convention is the people, because exactly what you described. They're caring, they're compassionate, they're warm, they're friendly, they're just amazing, amazing people. And when you come to this convention, it really is like a family. Everyone is a family, and everyone is just so sweet and wonderful to everyone, basically.
It's a great community. It's different than any other convention that I've been to, and I'm glad it's still alive and well today.
Awesome. Now, moving on, have you been on any of the sets when they are filming or doing any work for either PICARD or Discovery?
Yeah, we go up to set as often as we can. It's a bit harder for Discovery because it's in Canada and Toronto, so we make it up there a little less than we would like, but definitely we make sure to get on set as much as we can and to interact with everybody involved in the production, just because I think that everyone has that role to play, and we're hoping to play our part in sort of seeing what Star Trek is and what it can be and how it's going to evolve over time in each of the various areas.
Does that each of the departments that are working on it, for example?
I wouldn't say I'm involved in each of the departments because obviously each are their own, and we have very, very talented people in all the areas of, cost and design and set work pieces and all those kinds of things. But I think that we try and interact with as many as we can because the legacy that we bring to this and the understanding that we bring to this, we think is quite unique. And because of that, we just sort of want to make sure it permeates everything it can.
That's awesome. And I got one more question too about Discovery and PICARD. So when you're on the set, do you ever get really excited, or when you're watching it being created, do you step out of the executive producer role and sort of step into the Trekkie fan role, and you get really excited about just seeing the whole process be put together?
Absolutely. I mean, I think you've probably heard it many, many times from many actors, but it happens to anybody. When you step on a set, especially of Star Trek, and I have to give tremendous props to Alex. I mean, in regard to making sure that everything is to the utmost degree. You feel like this is very real, and the production quality of everything that we're doing now is so high that the ability to walk onto a set, and of course specifically the bridge or anything like that of any particular property, you really are able to, for a moment at the very least, feel like I'm there. And the ability to do that and to understand what it means to be there is a fantastic thing. Of course, when you look to the side then and there's no wall on one side or the other, but in general, being on the sets, which are just incredibly made, and the design and the specificity of them is incredible. It really does allow you to engage yourself in a universe that we all love.
That's awesome. That's really fantastic. Yep. And then do you have any stories or anything of, say, mistakes, bloopers, anything funny that happened that comes to the top of your head that you would like to share with people?
I don't know that I'm allowed to share those, so maybe there will be a blooper reel on one of the Blu-rays or something. I don't want to give anything away. Also I will say that the casts we have on literally every incarnation of Star Trek right now are so amazing that they are professionals to the nth degree, and really rarely is it that someone's coming on in any way that is unprepared. So they are so good at their jobs that honestly, it's not like a lot of bloopers or things come to mind, because as much as sometimes every once in a while there's something, they are just amazing. We are very, very lucky with all our cats.
That's really awesome. So just curious, does that mean that they stick to the strip like 100%, or is there any improv going on or anything similar to that?
Well, I think that our scripts are obviously an important part of everything. So I think that, I can't say for certain that we don't go off them every so often, and I can't think of any specific times. But I would say that oftentimes actors bring a lot to a role, and they have ideas, and they'll talk to directors or producers about them and see if that might be able to be worked in, whether right on the set at that time or earlier. So I would definitely say that the actors, play their own role in regard to collaborating and putting in their part or their piece of bringing that character to life.
So you don't have to give me any specifics or anything, because I know you can't talk about it. Yeah. But does that mean that there were things that were changed because the actors brought it up? Did that happen?
I think there are always things that actors can bring up, especially in regard to their characters, where they say, I'm picturing this, or I'm feeling with this background, this makes the most sense for my character, or this isn't making sense to me. It is truly a collaborative process all the way through, and I know that all the directors that I've met with on all the series and the producers and everything are very, very interested in hearing what our actors have to say on that front, and making sure that they're incorporating appropriately what input they get.
Okay, cool. And now at the Star Trek convention, you were located at the Roddenberry booth, correct?
We are here at the Roddenberry booth, and I don't know that if people know this, but we've had a long history of merchandising within Roddenberry. It was started a long time ago by Majel and Gene Roddenberry, and it's something that we are always loving to be able to bring to this particular convention.
That's awesome. Yeah, you guys are here every year. I think every single year I've been here, you guys have been here as well. But isn't this your last year?
It is not our last year, but I will explain why you think it is our last year. We have recently decided to shut down the store part of our business, and we're dealing with CBS on all things in regard to merchandise, and because of that, they're really taking the helm on everything when it comes to the licensing and what's going to come out product wise, and they're doing a fantastic job, and we are sort of supporting them in that at this point, which means that we will no longer directly be providing or producing things, and we're having this great sort of special inventory sale right now, if you're around, to come out and take a look at, because we are taking a look at what inventory we have left and trying to really make great deals for people to enjoy it. And that said, that does not mean that we will not be here next year in some evolved state. We have a lot of podcasting going on that are here this year. We have a lot of productions otherwise. So don't be surprised, absolutely, if you see a revamp of this booth, but a booth of us here next year, I'd be tremendously shocked if we didn't continue our tradition of coming to the Las Vegas convention every year.
Good. I'm so glad to hear you guys are going to be back next year.
Absolutely.
So can only the people here at the convention buy your merchandise, or can other people who are watching buy it as well?
I wish I could say that everybody watching could buy it, but no, it is really something that we are giving to those fans that are here at the convention right now. So I hope that you can come, or that you are here. I hope that you stop by and take a look at the products, and I hope you enjoy Star Trek.
Thank you. Yeah, and again, this is the reason why you guys should come out here. This is the reason why you should, not just interact with people, not just have a big family reunion and spend time with your friends, but also see amazing booths like this and get amazing deals on merchandise, because half of this is off, right? It's half off.
Half off everything at the booth, yeah.
That is just amazing. I bought a script here earlier, and I was just so giddy because I bought it at like such a cheap price, and I'm like, oh my God, I got a script. This is awesome.
Yes, well, we hope you enjoy everything that we have to offer, and we look forward to a very, very long Star Trekian relationship with everybody out there, and you as well.
Thank you. Now, before we go,
yes.
Do you want to promote a website? Do you want to promote social media, either for the Roddenberry booth or for the podcast that you were talking about, or any other project?
So there's a ton of stuff. Obviously, obviously, I would say we go to Roddenberry.com for everything. There are links to our social media. We have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter that we're on all the time, so please hit us up there. The Roddenberry Podcast Network is alive and running as well. If you're into podcasting, that's podcast.roddenberry.com. But overall, I would say everything can be found through Roddenberry.com, and we really hope that you will sign up for our transmitter, that's our sort of newsletter, listen to the podcast, be aware of all the progress going on in and outside of Star Trek, because we are very, very excited about the future that we have to bring.
I'm really excited too.
Good.
So if you guys get a chance, go check that out. Go check out those podcasts. I'm going to go home and I'm going to check out those podcasts myself. I'm really excited about hearing it.
Good.
And thank you so much for doing this interview, for talking with us, for talking with people. One more second before we go. Do we have any comments from the viewers? Okay, awesome. Sounds good. So no comments from the viewers. People saying
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. You gotta do this way, yeah.
Right?
I'm better at this.
That's awesome.
All right. Thank
you
you very much.
again. Really appreciate
All
it.
right,
Cool.
bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, just a quick reminder, we are supported by viewers like you. Donations do make it possible for us to bring you videos like this for free. If you think that this video was worth more than $0, then please donate whatever amount you feel it was worth by clicking the link in the description below. Now, that does it for today's show. What time is it? Okay, we are probably going to go do a podcast, or not a podcast, we are probably going to do a panel. Now I have podcast on the brain. Now I want to go watch the podcast, and that's what I'm thinking of. We're going to go do a panel. We'll come back, and we will bring you more live streams and more fun from the Star Trek convention. So, join us. Resistance is futile. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.